The motion passes, all voting aye.
The next order of business is item 5H, review of determination of emergency situation, determination that the emergency situation continues to exist, authorization for the city manager to enter into agreements for emergency repairs and restoration of the Parker Pump Station, and approval of funding for the emergency repairs and restoration, page 75. Mr. Huth, welcome.
Mr. Mayor, maybe I think Councilor Denny has just a specific question.
Yes, and I asked thank you very much, Mr. Huth, but I asked the city manager to say a few words on this item.
All right. Please.
I can just give a little verbal report. This involves the Parker Pump Station, which is a large piece of infrastructure located at the dead end of 8th Street in Coronado. And this is a underground subterranean pump station. It is basically a large room with pumps sit there and electrical equipment. It is not a wet well, but it's a dry environment. Last month, actually October 26th, as we have a pending capital project to replace the line out of the pump station. As we were preparing that, some things happened, and the pump station became flooded with storm drain water. There's very high water table in the area, and people recall that it rained before, so the ground was just normally saturated, was more so, and it flooded, I'm told, in a matter of minutes. These are not submersible pumps, and the equipment is intended to be dry, and the electrical equipment is intended to be dry. There are pipes in the pump station. They are enclosed. They did not leak. There was no violation of NPDES. Our NPDES permit was not violated. We did not have to do any self-reporting. There was no sewage leaks at all. It was just the pump station was flooded. The wastewater effluent was rerouted out of the pump station. It was one of the first things that Public Services did. So the pipes themselves, even for wastewater, were not carrying any effluent, but the storm drain pipes were something altogether different. It took about 2 to 3 days for us to stop the flow of water into the pump station. Actually, water sought its own level, so when it got high enough, it didn't overtop the pump station, but it did match the water table in the area. I just might as well want to acknowledge the fire department and our lifeguard captain, Sean Carey, who actually went down into the water, and although it's storm water, it does include all kinds of nasty things that go through the storm drain system, everything from dog and cat poop to bad stuff, but he put down his equipment, went down, and helped assist plugging it up. After it was plugged up, the water was pumped out, and we could initiate repairs. The pumps themselves are repairable. The electrical equipment is not. This is covered by insurance. We'll have a deductible about $50,000. The rest of the cost, estimated between $700,000 to $800,000, will be covered by insurance. The proposition before the council is, one, was it an emergency? Could we suspend the rules that allowed us to fix the pump immediately? The pumps still are not fully repaired. They are functional to a degree, but we want to make them fully functional so that as we enter into the wet season. Under normal circumstances, it would take us 2 to 3 months to prepare specifications and bid the project. That would put us into February. We don't have enough time, so the council can continue to declare that there's an emergency, which would allow us to go ahead and expedite the repairs of the pumps. We are selecting a contractor that has already been pre-approved, that's known to us, and that provides full service. It's on a time materials basis, then we feel the costs are competitive. So I know it's a little bit more than what Councilmember Dennett asked for, but she'd wanted me to point out that there was no violations, there was not a wastewater discharge, and there was no violations for our NPDES permit.
Thank you. Are there any questions of staff on this item? Does anyone from the public wish to speak on this item? So to review, the staff's recommendation is 1, that we review the emergency action taken by the city manager, 2, by a 4/5 vote, determine the need to continue the emergency action to repair Parker Pump Station, 3, authorize the city manager to enter into agreements with Sloan Electric Company, Restoration Technologies, Inc., and other contractors as needed for the repair and restoration of the Parker Pump Station, and 4, approve project funding for this work in amount not to exceed $800,000. Again, most of that will be covered by insurance. And 5, approve payment for expenses already incurred in the amount of $55,000 to address the emergency. Is there a motion? Is there any further discussion? Please vote.
The motion passes, all voting aye.
Mayor, it's the deductible is $5,000. So if anybody said 50, it's 5,000, right?
All right, thank you.
And
That
Mayor-
makes me 90% happier.
Mayor?
Yes.
If you give me leave, on item 5C, the city attorney would probably appreciate it if I read the title of the ordinance.
All right. We'll go back to item 5C.
The ordinance that was adopted is an ordinance of the City of Coronado, California, amending Chapter 1.20 of the Coronado Municipal Code regarding the City of Coronado Conflict of Interest Code.
Thank you, Linda.